Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Bikergirlmandi, and as you can see, I went ahead and did it, and I've been talking about this for a little bit, but I bought myself a used Honda Goldwing. This is a 2002 Honda Goldwing GL1800 that I bought from RC Hill Honda in Florida. I will do a whole other video about the whole experience of buying a motorcycle completely across the United States and having it shipped over here. But today I wanted to go ahead and go through this bike, maybe do a little bit of a first impression ride, tell you guys how I feel about it. So let's get started. I know for some of you guys might be asking, why did I buy this bike, especially since I just got an R3. This bike I am wanting to use for totally different purposes than my R3. As you guys probably know, the Goldwings are known for being touring bikes and just being able to eat up those miles and just go long distances. So that is my plan for 2026 for the Bikergirlmandi channel. I am hoping to do a lot of longer distance trips, maybe some cross-country trips. So I decided to get one of these, do a whole series of mods I'm gonna do, including a special painting video. So if you guys have any ideas of what color I'm gonna paint, drop it down in the comments below. So I'm gonna have a whole series of things I'm gonna be doing to this bike, showing you all my mods and how I do them. And then hopefully we could take this for some fun trips. I definitely want to take it down PCH first. It's pretty local, not too far away from me, and I just feel like the views are super amazing.
Okay, so as I mentioned a little earlier in this video, I am going to be doing quite a few mods on this bike, and I'm going to go ahead and film every single one of them. So a couple of the mods that I'm going to be filming include installing a new windscreen, doing an LED taillight conversion, doing an LED headlight conversion, installing new fog lights, and new LED turn signals. I'm also definitely, like I mentioned before, going to be painting this bike, so definitely drop it down in the comments below of what color you think I'm going to be doing. And I'm sure I'll find a couple things here and there along the way because this is an older bike. So if you love bike mods, installs, and bike glow-ups, definitely stay tuned. So let's go ahead and talk about first ride. So I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover on my footage because the audio quality did not come out very good. So I figure it's probably best to just have me record a voiceover. So for this bike, once you get it upright and off the kickstand, and once you get it going, it really doesn't feel as big as it is. This is an 850-pound bike, and it really is well balanced. If you don't know anything about the Goldwings, the gas tank is like underneath the seat, so it's really low, which keeps your center of gravity super low on this bike, and you definitely can feel that and feel that engineering that they put in that. The only thing for me, because I am a short rider, is you do definitely have to pay attention to where you're parking the bike. If it's on a hill or a slant where it's like really tipped over, it's really hard for me to get that bike upright and off the kickstand. So I did actually have to ask for help when leaving my house to get it off of the kickstand and get it kind of going. So it's definitely something I will have to pay more attention to. Another thing is probably because I'm shorter, but I really have to pay attention to if I'm coming to stops, if I'm at any kind of slants. This is already something that I do with the R3, so it's not too much of a challenge for me to remember to do that. But it's especially important in such a big bike like this because, once again, if it starts tipping over and you start kind of going too far over, I'm sure you're going to drop this bike. One thing that I did see that I really liked that I figured out when I was actually editing this video is that this bike has self-canceling turn signals. If you're a motorcycle rider, you know you always have to make sure that you turn off those turn signals, or else you're driving miles with your turn signal on and confusing everybody. So that's a super cool feature, especially for a bike that's this old. I really didn't think that it would have that. Another thing that's really cool is these Goldwings have an anti-dive feature. So if you hit your brakes, which your brakes, your rear and your front brake are linked, so you're not going to have to worry about like locking anyone up individually, even though I don't think this model has ABS. It might. I'd have to check and see, and I can put it on, you know, the screen anywhere if I see if it has ABS. But you still have to be sure not to like slam the brakes really hard, but it kind of distributes your force from the front and the rear, which is really nice on these bikes. But it also has anti-dive system. So if you hit the brakes a little bit hard, it's not going to dive forward and kind of lurch you forward, which I'm sure is really good, and they engineered it because this is such a big bike. But all in all, I'm really shocked at this bike. It doesn't feel as big as it is. I was really nervous buying this because I'm used to my tiny little R3 that, you know, weighs nothing and is super nimble. And going through some slightly twisty roads and stop and go, this bike is actually pretty good at that. I'm sure I can't be ripping up and down the canyons like I could in my R3, but it doesn't feel overly cumbersome as I would think it would for such a big bike. Also, another really cool feature that I don't know if it's just something wrong with my bike or if it's how they design these, but the clutch is super light on these bikes. Like, you barely inch it out and it starts rolling forward, and you don't really have to put a whole lot of throttle input. Another thing I was really nervous about jumping on this bike was that it was going to feel way too much power because this is an 1800 cc bike. So it's a big bike. So I was super nervous that it would have too much power on the takeout, or I would have to really pay attention to my throttle and make sure that I don't like give it way too much throttle. I did a little section in this video where I only put it in second gear because this is a 5-speed bike, but it was only in second. I gave it beans, and this thing has some get up and go. So don't get me wrong, this thing definitely can take off on you if you really wanted it to. But the throttle is not as sensitive as I thought it was going to be, which is really, really nice. Another thing I've noticed about this bike, and I'm sure if you have ever ridden on a Goldwing or a touring bike, is the seat is extremely comfortable. Just as is, this is the stock seat on it. The previous owner did put a backrest, which I am going to have to do some modifications to, because I swear they were like 6'5" or something like that, because it doesn't even get near my back. And I'm sure you'll see in this footage that the backrest is like super far away. So I have to figure out a way to get it to like lean forward a little bit more so that I actually can lean against it. I was sitting in my garage on the bike and I tried like leaning against the backrest, and I'm not even near being able to touch my handlebars. So definitely wouldn't be able to use that. Another thing is my cruise control is stuck on. I'm sure you can see in this footage that it is stuck on. That will probably be a video that I do of how I figured out or how I repaired it or how I got it to turn off. But I think reading the manual and reading online is that the cruise control doesn't actually activate until you get into 4th or 5th gear. So I don't have to worry about it kind of taking over when I'm riding. So it's not a huge deal for right now. But all in all, I am super impressed with this bike so far. I honestly was a little bit nervous, especially when I got it delivered, because they did have to drop it off down the hill because I do live in the mountains. So I was kind of scared of how I was going to get it home, that it was going to maybe be too big of a bike for me. So I was a little worried. But first impressions and driving it and riding it, and it doesn't feel that bad, honestly. Once again, I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner rider if you're first starting out, because this is a big bike for someone who's just learning how to ride a motorcycle. But definitely if you're comfortable riding, like I've only had, I would say a couple years of experience and 1 full riding season under my belt. And this does not feel unapproachable at all to me. So definitely I'm super excited to keep riding this. I'm still going to be doing R3 content. I'm sure that bike is going to be, my bread and butter for riding canyons and what I always want to pick for that. But I'm super excited to start doing some longer tours and doing some cross-country rides and some really cool things like that in the future. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will definitely be taking you all along on this journey with me in learning how to ride long distance and getting into that kind of stuff. And also, since this is an older bike, I'm going to be kind of wrenching on this a little bit more and working on it a little more. So I will definitely be posting those kind of videos as well.
So this Goldwing is about to start a whole new chapter in the Bikergirlmandi channel. So I'm excited to bring you along for this adventure. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys can know when I upload. And don't forget to comment down below what color you guys think I'm going to be painting this thing. Thank you so much. See you in the next one, and ride safe.